Greetings everyone, and right here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn as the Jade Son Javier, we got step6srl, I think. Spawn north side as the Gray Sky Olaf, we got X-OLDMAN. This map is a fog of war map with an airport and 3 bases, so perhaps not too many battle copters on this map. It does have a strong side, weak side mechanic. After all, there's 2 bases down this side. This is a whole bunch of sea tiles there with some rivers there and rivers this way, so infantry can support up north. But overall, there's just only 1 base on this side, and it'll be slow going there. We got an early APC by Javier. There is also a seaport here, so you can go for a bit of lander play to push in the center there. But I don't think I really see that, not even a black boat for pushing infantry. It's just not too far of a distance. It definitely does help out. After all, just take a look at this path here. You got the base and then movable tiles there into a river there, so it's not traversable up north this way, unless through infantry. So the only way you can get out vehicles in the center is if you go around. But even then, it will take a bit of time to get to the center, but not too long. Got 2 tanks now pulled out by Olaf. Javier has one as first tank. Double recon by Javier. Javier does have increased indirect defense. The more I see Javier play, the more I realize how powerful this actually is. I just realized something as well. When I highlight it, it doesn't exactly reveal everything. So if I were to adjust my screen like this, there we go. Something I should have realized a long time ago. But I know we all know Javier as the column tower specialist, where he gets plus 10% defense per column tower as well as plus 10% offense. But as games start going on and on, I find a bit more appreciation for the indirect fire defense. It really does add up, especially when you get 1 guaranteed column tower on this map. So they have a plus 30% defense and pretty much the planes, so effectively a total plus 40% defense. Start actually adding up when indirect, making the point where for most situations, indirects are actually not really feasible. Olaf does not have access to decent artillery thanks to the indirect defense. And let's see, I just pulled the CO chart as well. Does that increases by 30% up to 40% per power and superpower? I always forget. Let's see, there he is. It does increase up to plus 40%, and then with a superpower, plus 80%, effectively making them bulletproof versus indirects. He's also one of the few defense COs in the game, which, honestly, there's not too many defense COs other than technically Sturm. Also, sort of not really. He's like the opposite of Grim. Does get a first strike there, interrupts the capture. There's got multiple tanks here. Does have 3 tanks in total. Javier does have 3 tanks, but likely if Olaf goes for this recon there, he will be first shot against. And there we go. Does hit the recon there. The recon's still alive. Can just fall back to the forest, just get some good spotting, or just charge forward for more spotting. But looks like Javier will get the first strike on the tank conflict. He could double tap 1 tank. He may well tap this tank as well, but both of these on 3-star defense. He does have additional defense. Both players have 1 column tower. I'm not sure how effective all the extra defense will be. Guess we'll find out soon enough. And looks like just bring his tanks up into forward ambush positions. You could see this tank, but it's currently out of vision range at the moment. 1, 2, 3. So it looks like Javier is just prepping for more of his tanks for a better position. He does pull back this one way over here. Probably seeing these tanks down here wants extra defense. He does have artillery and tank down here, as well as multiple tanks and now anti-air. Good time for anti-air, but this map is quite large, so he may need to get anti-air for both sides, which he actually does. So very nice. Olaf has gotten his own anti-air out, though Javier has not deployed any battlecopters just yet. And now looks like Olaf is grouping up all 5 of his tanks in this region. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this tank could get double tapped, and some of these tanks could receive first shots as well. So Javier does have good vision on majority of the tanks, does not see these 2 tanks here, even though they are in range. Does spot this tank there, so could get a first strike onto it. Focus from the plains first, where he has vision over that area. Does see this tank down here as well, just missing vision on this tank. But it'll be a little bit risky to charge for the tanks, as I mentioned, and decides not to, which is probably a good idea. Yep, he decides to fall back on his properties, position them all ready. And I decided being hyper-aggressive, which is perfectly fine for now. Medium tank, and infantry. Both players now deployed out a medium tank. Interior battlecopter, a tank, and infantry. Javier does have 24,000. He could go for Neo Tank and 2 infantry this turn as a possibility. Javier to go for anti-air battlecopter infantry tank. So Neo Tank would be quite nice. Of course, with cast of visions, he's creeping his way forward. Artillery, providing some cover for the artillery piece. Not the artillery piece, for the tank. So as his 2 health recon there, he can always charge forward for sacrificial lamb, just get some good spotting. I think he also there scout out the forest there by running over just to make sure it's actually unoccupied. Just in case. Lander, so Javier has pulled out a lander. We'll try to forward deploy units into the middle of the map likely. And with that lander, that he could go for medium tanks in the middle of the map. My apologies. A little bit sick at the moment. Get some strikes there, not on this tank there. Takes out the recon, which is nice. Puts some rounds into the APC. It goes down. Minor loss overall. Artillery piece is in range at least of this infantry unit. Only that infantry unit. And we almost see a tower shield. He could pop that for additional +10/+10 global. Additionally, you get a +10/+10% global. And improves indirect defense by +20% additional. But his opponent has no indirect because Javier just inherently nullifies indirects to a decent degree, which really dissuades their deployment whatsoever. Does put some good damage there on that infantry unit there. Tank on tank, he doesn't go forward. He has tower shield, but he's not popping it. He maybe I just get some power charge before he does. He could double tap that tank without needing the power charge. And he may just not pop it this turn. I don't see anything that would suggest he should pop it this turn. Tank should, medium tank should probably head to the city, or maybe... Yeah, can't reach the forest there, so just onto the city. Just try to keep away the vision range of the recon, which he does. Overall, this medium tank is in a counterattack position. No power. We may... Well, I won't say a power from Olaf. Let's be blunt. The only time you ever really see, possibly even see powers by Olaf is in case your opponent has gone for a huge swell of aircraft. So it's probably better on a 2-base map rather than a 3-base map. Tank. Has still 9,000 funds, but probably won't see a battlecopter this turn. This battlecopter is pretty forward. Infantry. So saves a bit of fun there. Javier has 25,000. Infantry and artillery for deploy. Does sack the infantry and the recon there to interrupt the capture. Probably should have done with the infantry, not with the recon. Now trying to capture the property itself. Likely, if Javier deploys his power and/or superpower, his Olaf will probably follow up with a Wounded Fury. I doubt Olaf will get his Wounded Fury before Javier's Tower of Power. Has 30,000 funds in the field. Are we going to see a Mega Tank this turn? And when it comes to Javier, Tower Shield will give him +10/+10 global. Tower Shield will give him +20% global. It may actually be a bit better to go for his power and the superpower, due to the fact that he will still get a +10/+10 factoring power and or superpower. So I'm thinking power may be the way to go for Javier at this point in time, unless he really needs that extra firepower. It may be best to go for regular power and keep his power charge up to go follow up with another power. But that's just a hazardous guess at the moment. Oh. Did my Twitch stream go offline? I'll worry about that later. Infantry is pulled back. Infantry, recon, and Neo Tank. So Javier has bought a Neo Tank. Olaf has a good amount of funds still on the map. Maybe a full bomber wouldn't be half bad. There we go. Looks like Twitch just had a bit of a hiccup. I think. Or maybe not. I'm not sure. Just the unit starts to push away forward, gaining position. Yeah, it looks like it's working fine. It's just like my Twitch stream went down for a moment. I'm not sure what happened there. Not like many people watch my Twitch stream either way when it comes to Advanced Wars by web. But Javier's just creeping his way forward as well. They're both set up to the front line. Javier does have more force in the field. Of course, he is player 1. So they're pretty even at the moment. Neo Tank infantry. So Olaf has pulled out multiple Neo Tanks now. Load up the artillery piece. Could go for something a bit more expensive there. Maybe a medium tank. Be a bit able to push it forward a little bit easier. Battlecopter infantry tank. So yeah, infantry is a little bit not as expensive as I was expecting. And recon down south, saving 5,000 funds to bank. Oh, tower shield. I was not expecting that. That's the end of the turn. End pop power shield at the end of the turn. So he's trying to creep forward with the effects of defense for attack. That's interesting. I don't like that. Let's see how well he can withstand. He's going to take a first strike, and he's not going to get any power charge this turn. He has a decent amount of chunk for a tower shield. Sacks the cruiser there, the 1 HP cruiser. And Olaf just repositioned forces. Tank infantry in here. And it looks like Olaf's going to let his opponents get that tower shield active. And it looks like I'm getting a bit of audio issues. My apologies. Strikes the unit down there. Good shot there. And yeah, that tower shield was completely and utterly worthless. He was trying to creep forward, lure his opponent into an attack so he can do a stronger counter attack. Got a Neo Tank here, so both sides have 2 Neo Tanks at the moment. And a medium tank. Oh, Olaf does have 2 medium tanks at the moment. Here, and a bit of a strike there, but he will tally upon, so not a great strike there by Olaf. Tank infantry anti-air. Good strike there. Battlecopter, recon, tank, infantry. Does get trapped there. Got a rocket now pulled out by Olaf there. And I think I know what's calling off the audio bug. I did disable autoplay when it comes to YouTube, and I'm wondering if that's causing issues with by web. So may need to try changing that. I had this issue in the past, but switching extensions, extension something, I forget what it's called, extension managers, did fix the issue, but sort of popping up. Got another fighter deploying the field. Afraid of any bombers, though still be a perfectly fine asset against battlecopters, which have to kill all 3 battlecopters to pay for itself. We do have almost a Winter Fury available. Olaf could charge forward to pop it, and that will give him a great position able to pop off Winter Fury ahead. In fact, I think this Neo Tank striking this medium tank could give him Winter Fury. Winter Fury is not available. He should pop it immediately. He has no reason to hold on to it. And he does not pop his Winter Fury. Sure, it gives him +10/+10, but the global damage is incredibly powerful, but both sides are just set on up. Javier may need to go super aggressive this turn. Problem is, they're just at a little bit too far range. He has to creep forward a space or two and try to push forward. He's going to charge forward, picks off some outlying units. I don't think Javier is in a great position right now. He's picking out some units up here, but overall he is charging forward, pops the tower shield for the increased defense. Of course, that can be mitigated a little down a little bit by Blizzard. And there's Winter Fury. And here comes the counterattack. Of course, Javier will get no power charge this turn. He almost has enough for a tower shield, so he may be able to pop another tower shield next turn. Gets a good strike up there. Hits the medium tank. Medium tank finished off the medium tank. Infantry gets, of course, picked off. Neo tank strikes artillery piece. Got 2 more artillery in the back line. Of course, this one's top of force. This one will barely stay alive. Won't be really effective. Probably double tap the Neo tank there, or could strike the anti-air back here and make sure his battlecopter is a bit more free range. Though these 2 anti-airs in the back line. Makes a good headway. Rocket creeps his way forward. Tank, recon, anti-air. And I think Javier has this turn to turn the game around. He has right now 27,000. Olaf's at 208. Wait, no, other way around. Olaf has 277,000. Javier's at 108, so he has this turn to turn the game around, which he does have 2 full health Neo Tanks to help out. And he has vision of both his opponent's Neo Tanks right now. Paul try to get as much power charge down here. Try to get a tower shield as soon as he can. Pop the tower shield. The 3 kills does give some free power charge, of course. Counterattack is being quite effective. 8-hole fire should still be able to take out some battlecopters. Recon infantry tank and pops tower shield in turn for the extra defense to blunt his opponent's counterattack. Good strikes there. Neo Tank strikes Neo Tank, but it's still the full health Neo Tank here. Blizzard's now available. Javier has taken a bit of a beating, down to 153,000 versus Olaf's 122, 124. And this our rocket is getting pretty good range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if he somehow tries to attack the medium tank of a Neo Tank, it will be hit by a rocket. Neo Tank gets finished off. I think the rocket will strike a Neo Tank next turn. Winter Fury is almost available again. It is available. That can be devastating right now. He has a lot of wounded units on the field, so it'll be more than 20% damage. Takes out the Anti-Air with the Neo Tank. I'm not sure if that's a great choice. Does use the 5 health Neo Tank to hit the medium tank. And has Pop Tower Shield. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. And here comes the Winter Fury again. Javier has 176, Olaf has 165. Down, got called down 131. Finish some 1 health tanks there, finish off the 2. Oh, it's not finished off that tank there. Power Shield's extra defense come handy. And the rocket did have plus minus 40% firepower there. So the rocket damage was blunted. So we got 6 self-artillery piece here to strike the 5 health medium tank as well. Anti-air infantry recon battlecopter. And serve 179,000 versus starting out with 93. So Javier's in a very bad position right now. When it comes to income, he does have 3,000 more income. And he has hit the resign button. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching. My apologies for the lack of sound issues. And on to the next replay.